For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates.
Hello and welcome to StratNewsGlobal. You're on our daily program, The Gist. I'm Nitin Gokhale. And on The Gist this evening, I have a very special and a different guest from our normal routine. And that is the President of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, Mr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, who heads the organization, and someone who has been spearheading India's soft power push across the globe and especially in the neighborhood. Welcome to this program, Mr. Sahasrabuddhe.
Thank you very much.
So, ICCR has been in existence for quite some time. But as I see it over the past 5 or 6 years, it has gained traction in the neighborhood and also, amongst diaspora, amongst people who are connected with India. So what are the fundamentals of India's soft power that you're projecting across the globe, if I may ask?
Well, I think everybody who travels abroad must have realized that India enjoys a fund of goodwill across the countries. I mean, I at least don't know any country where India or Indians are hated. There might be a couple of countries, you know them.
Yes.
But beyond them, everywhere Indians are loved and people are in the awe of India. They are attracted towards India.
Sure.
They love India. But this goodwill about India requires to be translated and taken to a different level. Which means that some kind of an understanding about India is eventually achieved. And I believe soft power is there.
That's right.
Because India is one of those countries which is much misunderstood, sadly. And therefore we need to decipher the very idea of India, Indian culture, Indian people. And in that context, we believe, and this we have been mentioning off and on, that Indian soft power, or for that matter, cultural relations of India, it's a 5-pillar kind of a thing. The first pillar is, because see, soft power is not just dance and music.
No,
Soft power is not just culinary and cuisine.
No.
Soft power basically is about the idea of India. And what are these ingredients of the idea of India? I believe they are fundamentally 5.
Okay.
Firstly, it is the spiritual democracy. Because we are one of those countries where theocracy is a complete no-no. It has been like that for several millennia. In fact.
That's right.
And therefore, spiritual democracy, number 1. Number 2, our unity of our diversity. It is not unity in diversity in a way. We are diverse,
And yet,
outwardly,
right.
but innate unity of ours requires to be underscored.
Sure.
Thirdly, our idea of worshipping the nature and being always grateful towards Mother Nature. I mean, there are philosophies which have been talking about conquering our nature. We never.
We coexist.
We coexist and we have that kind of a relationship with nature.
Sure.
Fourth one is our idea of Antyodaya. Even today, after several years, the global community appears to be continually divided between socialism and capitalism. We have found our own way to move beyond that, beyond the binary, and that is Antyodaya, which is the most deprived, should be considered
The last
most
man or the woman in the queue.
Correct. The most deprived is the most deserving.
Right.
And the 5th pillar is what our G20 logo says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And on these 5 pillars, I believe, the entire edifice of our idea of India and thereby our soft powers.
So you're generally working in these 4 or 5 parameters you have defined for yourself, because Indian movies have been India's cultural ambassadors, Indian movie stars for years, from Raj Kapoor down to Shah Rukh Khan and others. But what you have now said is actually expanding the scope of India's soft power. And in that respect, what are the concrete steps that you have taken?
No, basically what I refer to are the pillars, which is the philosophical position of India. And the manifestation of this philosophy
Yes.
happens through our dance, our music, our movies, our literature, everything.
Fine arts.
Yeah. And to that end, what we are trying is, basically we are trying to focus upon our traditional knowledge systems. For example, there are n number of people who are interested in understanding Sanskrit.
Right.
We run Sanskrit classes at various centers. We have some 37 centers abroad, and we run classes which are imparting knowledge about Sanskrit, about Hindi, about other Indian languages as well. That is one thing we do. Yoga is one of the other important features of our agenda.
Right.
That also we do. At the same time, there are people who are interested in other scriptures. I was there in Tehran some 5 years before. And the Tehran University had organized a seminar on the contribution of Maharshi Panini. Because Panini is a grammarian. Because of him, we have the grammatical structure of language and of Persian also. Right. So it's a common heritage of both the countries. Exactly. And the Iranian president was very keen that we should do something. So when I went there, the university vice chancellor of Tehran University told me that we teach Upanishad in Tehran University. Wow. Tell me where in India Upanishad is taught.
I hardly think anybody...
There are universities, but maybe where.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is how India is looked at. Again, our epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Yeah. Everywhere there. In fact, I would say there should be a category of Ramayana and Mahabharata countries.
If you go to Southeast Asia, for instance.
Not just Southeast Asia, but
Central Asia.
Yeah, in Central Asia. Oh. And there also.
Right.
Because of the impact of Ramayana and Mahabharata goes beyond any kind of belief system, for that matter.
Right.
We had once a troupe coming from Brunei. They presented a beautiful Ramayana story in one of our Ramayana festivals, which we have started in 2015.
Okay.
So when some of our officers were wondering, and they asked the Brunei people that your country is 100% Islamic country, and therefore we were apprehensive when you had sent a troupe, and they made a nice performance. We are very impressed. You know what the head of that troupe told us? He said, you are committing a mistake. We have changed our religion, not our culture.
There you are. I think that distinction is very, very important.
And therefore, all these facets of our traditional knowledge system, we are emphasizing, including Ayurveda for them.
That's right. So, you spoke about yoga, and now 21st June is the World Yoga Day, or Yoga Day as people tend to call it. In that respect, how has been the response? I mean, you obviously are spearheading, and along with the other parts of the government.
I think the Ayush Ministry, ICCR, and other departments of the government, all of us join hands and work towards that. And I think now it has become pretty established thing.
Sure.
I don't think there would be any country where the International Day of Yoga is not observed, not celebrated, and there are no demonstrations, there are no kind of some celebrations of it. And therefore, yoga has now not just remained a fashion in a particular class, but it has become slowly but certainly a part of the lifestyle.
It's percolated down to the masses.
Yeah. And we at the ICCR, since 2018, we have started an annual seminar around the International Day of Yoga, because unnecessarily people look at it as maybe something about gymnastics or something about this respiratory system.
That's right.
Or something which is only spiritual. In fact, yoga is everything.
Yes.
Because yoga means addition.
Right.
And therefore it adds in multiple ways to your personality, for that matter. And therefore we are organizing such seminars everywhere. Last year it was in Korea. And this year I believe we will be having a seminar there in Germany.
Oh, I see.
So likewise, various countries we are trying to partner with local organizations and conduct an international seminar.
Oh, that's good to know. In fact, the other component of ICCR, which has been there for years, but I think now you've given it more attention, is the cultural students exchange perhaps, or people coming into India and studying various aspects of Indian life, lifestyle, culture, fine arts, performing arts. So how many, what is the program called, or how is it doing?
See, since several decades, ICCR has been offering our own scholarships and managing scholarships given by other departments of the government of India to foreign students. And close to 6,000, 7,000 students every year come to India. 1,000 of them are from Afghanistan, because it was in 2011 that time the government of India announced that scholarship. and it continues.
Right.
So when they come over here and spend a good part of their youth, for that matter, because 4 years or so they spend over here, they go back.
I see.
But our idea is to keep continuous engagement with them. So we have organized we have floated a forum called India Alumni.
Right.
And it is not confined only to ICCR students, but other students as well, who do not come through our scholarship, but
Are in India.
have been in India. So for them, we have created this platform. But merely creating a platform may not work, because we need to give them some reason why they should remain continuously associated with India and in touch with us. Our Prime Minister, for example, has been extremely keen that all our visiting dignitaries, whether ministers or others, should be interacting when they go to a country wherever there are foreign students.
Yeah.
And that we have been trying to emphasize and do as well. But now we have added one more element, which provides them a reason to remain connected with India and also gainfully kind of engaged as well. So we have approached the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, the Ayush Ministry, and also the India Tourism Development Corporation to join hands with us and to give all these students who would be completing their education and going back, say, to Tanzania or Malawi or South Africa or Kenya or Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, wherever. So they should be given some assignment. If they complete this kind of a thing, then the Khadi Commission can announce them as the Goodwill Ambassador of Khadi, or say Goodwill Ambassador of India Tourism. So their interest will be that
connect remains with India.
Right. And it adds some value as well.
Of course.
Merely emotional connect may not take us very long.
No,
and then,
of course. But these students will, of course, also go back, and I'm sure they're going back to their country. They're becoming important elements of their governance, of their societies.
Majority of our students are shining in their country.
Right.
There is a particular country, I believe Tanzania, where the entire cabinet is India alumni.
Wow.
The Bangladesh Prime Minister is India alumni. There are many Sri Lankan ministers and others who have studied in India.
Correct.
So there are many people, and including in countries like Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan as well. And one more element I would like to add is about our fine arts.
Right.
Unfortunately, there is nothing like trainee visa. In fact, we have recommended this, that people who come over here for 3 months, 6 months, they are not per se students. But under our Guru Shishya Parampara, they come and learn Indian classical music. They go to Hariprasad Chaurasia and learn flute. They go to some tabla player and try to understand tabla. Now, all these people require to be documented somewhere. We don't have anything right now. So we are trying to appeal people who come here to understand Bharatanatyam or any of our dance traditions.
Or even handicrafts, I think people must be coming for.
Yes, or Indian fine arts. So we are focusing on them. And in addition to that, one thing which we have done, because you will be amazed to know that in India, at least at 4 centers, we have the traditional manufacturers of string instruments. Like, let's say, Meena or Tanpura. They are in Tanjore, they are in Miraj, Varanasi and Kolkata. And they go back.
Right.
They all these manufacturers produce instruments, and if they produce 100, 75 of them are exported. Yeah. And majorly the exports happen in UK and in New Jersey area of US. So the manufacturers approached us and they told, you send anyway our artists who are singers, but why don't you send our artisans as well? Because
who are actually making those instruments.
And there are some repair and maintenance related issues cropping up. Now they have decided, and they will be going maybe in the month of June, they will be making a first trip to UK.
That's fantastic, because actually these are the people who make those instruments. And if they have to be maintained, like you said, then those people have to maintain that.
Most of these instruments are not machine made.
That's right.
It's a handicraft.
Yeah, exactly. Also talking about cultural exchanges, Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist diplomacy is also one new thing which has been pushed very hard of late. So in that respect, you, I thought, recently went to Sri Lanka. Was that only for the Buddhist part, or there were some other elements to it?
No, basically, as I said, we have instituted an award which we call as Distinguished Alumni Award. And there is one academic, a professor who had been to India, who has taken his education in India. And those who shine in their own countries, contribute in a significant manner, we recognize them through this award. And I was there to attend that award giving function.
I see.
And I met with many foreign students, many ex-students over India as well. But about the Buddhist traditions and attracting the people who are believers into Buddhism for that matter. In fact, I would be happy if Nepal, India and Sri Lanka, all of us come together and offer something to all those devotees.
Right.
Because, in all these three places, perhaps the entire lifespan of Buddha and was contribution to humanity can be perhaps summarized.
Yes.
His journey.
Encapsulated in that. Yes.
And therefore, for example, they can go to Lumbini, they can go to Kapilavastu,
Yes.
then Bodh Gaya, then Sarnath.
Yes.
Maybe we can take them to Dharamshala also. They can go to Ajanta, Ellora,
Right.
and then visit the tooth relic in Lanka
Kandy.
and also the Mahabodhi
Yes.
in Anuradha.
Right.
So that is the plan which we are putting. In the month of April, in fact, there is going to be an international Buddhist conference organized by the ministry,
Right.
and ICCR is one of the part.
So that's good to know, because Buddhist philosophy, incidentally, is also, if I remember correctly, His Holiness Dalai Lama in an interview to me about 3 years ago had mentioned that you will be surprised that even the Han Chinese, who are supposed to be officially atheists, are actually adopting Buddhism. And he has more followers in China than anywhere else.
The pen of Buddha, in fact, I'm sure you're aware, even in Russia, where I had been to St. Petersburg, there is a Buddhist temple over there.
Right.
People are very keen to come to India and understand Buddhism through India.
Absolutely. Vietnam, for instance, there's no religion officially, but most people are Buddhist there. So I think that's a great value and great strength India has in that.
In fact, they have also instituted an award for an academic who had some very significant contribution into Buddhist study work. And the first such award was given to Otani University in Japan.
I see. Okay, so that's very good to know. So the spread that you have actually is very wide. What about tying up or coordinating with Indian states? You have the cultural centers abroad, but what about your attempts to also get the states on board?
In fact, very recently, we engaged into some kind of an agreement with some 22 Indian states. Others are also coming, but in the first tranche, some 22 came forward, and we have signed an agreement with them. Now we are asking them to cooperate with us, because showcasing Indian culture eventually boils down to showcasing the culture of our different states.
Yes.
And we are going to do that, and including culinary and cuisine traditions, because we consider them as well an important segment of our soft power.
Sure.
And you will be happy to know that we have now instituted a scheme by way of which those foreign-based Indian restaurants run by Indians are serving authentic Indian food, largely the food varieties of both South and North, and have an unblemished track record for at least 10 years. We are going to award them some kind of an Annapurna certificate.
Oh, that's like a recognition.
Yeah, of course. We need to recognize them. We need to pat on their back.
Yes.
We need to encourage.
Actually, when you go to the West, chicken tikka is the most common dish everybody seems to know, apart from anything else in India. But that's where it is. So there you are, culture, language, fine arts, performing arts, everything is on ICCR's plate. And therefore, I thought we should speak to Mr. Sahasrabuddhe, who's spearheading this effort, of course, in cooperation and collaboration with other ministries like tourism and culture and other parts of the government. With the MEA, of course, they're part of the MEA. So this was the program. It was slightly different from our usual fare that we offer to you every evening. This is not hard power, but soft power is perhaps more accessible to people and reaches more people than the hard power does. So that's all we have for this evening's gist. Thank you very much, Mr. Sahasrabuddhe, for being here and sharing your thoughts on what you're doing. Do keep watching StratNewsGlobal. You know where to reach us. Do send feedback of what you think of this program, as well as on our other programs and our write-ups that are available on our website. You know where to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. Keep spreading the word to your friends, family and acquaintances. And of course, also our social media handles that are available, that are visible on the screen. For the time being, it's goodbye.